According to Craig Rusbold, a University of Wisconsin-Madison professor, a worldview is a mental model of reality, a comprehensive framework of ideas and attitudes about the world, ourselves, and life. This means that a person's beliefs about the world and their understandings of reality shape their life and their actions. Take, for instance, a Muslim who is fully dedicated to the principles of Islam. Their worldview is going to revolve around the Islamic dominance, and if they are truly followers of Islam, they will go as far as needed to achieve this, including daily prayers and, in some cases, jihad. When you look at the Christian worldview, however, you see much different standards of living. God commands us as Christians in Romans 12:2 to step away from the world and follow God both mentally and physically, in action and in speech. He commands us to unconditionally love Him and to follow His commands while trusting in Him. Overall, the overarching theme of worldviews tends to be people follow the worldviews stated or commanded in their religion. However, some people cannot even do that. Many atheists, agnostics, deists, etc. have their own views on morality and the world to best suit their own interests. One's worldview can be a cause of many different aspects in their life, including how they were raised, the experiences they've had, and who they surround themselves with. Worldviews are explained in the Bible. 1 Corinthians 8:4 says that, "Therefore, concerning the eating of things sacrificed to idols, we know that there is no such thing as an idol in the world, and that there is no God but one. The God of the Bible, Yahweh, is the one true God. There is no other." This idea is controversial in many beliefs, with many believing that all gods lead to heaven. As Christians, we believe that there is one God, one way to heaven, and this has many implications and harsh realities that come along with it, such as an eternity separated from a loving and gracious God. You know, one of my very close friends was raised as a Christian, but fell away from the faith for 3 years. Time and time again, I would ask him why he left the faith, and time again, he said, because he didn't understand how a loving and good God could make such a terrible world. His experiences in the world outweighed his faith in God. And despite him surrounding himself with Christians and being raised as a Christian, he fell away from the faith. He later rededicated his life to Christ after continually surrounding himself, whether intentionally or not, with Christians who were able to shape his worldview for God. Now take into consideration this next story. 2 Muslim-raised Iranian women, and they were determined to find His presence. Despite being devout Muslims, they were converted to Christianity due to their seeking out for God. They ended up ministering to over 20,000 Iranians before being sent to an Iranian torture jail and continuing to spread the gospel there based off of memory. I don't share this story with you to show you how great these women are and how we all need to take leaps of courage for God. Although these women are prime examples of disciples of Christ, instead, we must understand that just because someone has a non-Christian worldview, they may still understand and accept Christ. These 2 women accepted Christ on a search for Allah in a nation that outlawed Christianity. We should be just as able to help convert people in our own communities and change the worldview of those around us to better suit the kingdom of Christ. Your worldview is not what only shapes the way you live, but also the way that other people see you and the effects you have on them. Colossians 3:17 says, "And whatever you do, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him." In order to better the world around us for Christ, we must first look at how we act and see if it reflects the worldviews that God instructs of us in the Bible. You must shape and change your worldview in order to better the views of this world. You must be the change you want to see in this world for God.